Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World, and I'm here with Mary Droder, who I work with as a referral agent with her as a regular real estate agent from Star One Realty. Welcome back, Mary. How are you?
Nice seeing you again, Kathryn. Good to be here.
Okay, so we've gone through the pandemic, right? We're going through the pandemic, and I want to do a show on the markets coming back for real estate. And I want people to understand what they really need to do and what's happening in real estate. So I wanted for you to talk to us about what's happening and how to change your home to get it ready for the realtor and lots of things that people need to know.
Well, the pandemic has definitely changed the environment of when you're trying to market and sell a house. With all the restrictions, we have no overlapping appointments. We have strict schedule times. And a lot of people now don't want a lot of people coming through their homes. So we are really highlighting what we call a Matterport tour. And it's a virtual computer tour where you can walk through, literally from the home of your enjoyment of your home, safety, walk through the person's house in a computer realm virtual tour.
So we're going to show that today so that people get an idea of what that's all about. I've always wanted to sell my house or do something with my house to make it ready for, that situation. But you've already done this, and you film all the time with this. Is it a 360 camera, or what is it?
It is a 360 camera, yes. It's literally goes in 360 degrees, and then we piece it all together to compile it into one big tour.
Right.
And so it picks up everything. So it's not merciful. You have to. That's why it's really important to have your house staged, declutter, get the house really truly prepared for filming, because it will pick up every single thing in the house.
That's right. And it's important to do the outside of your house too, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, curb appeal is extremely important. In fact, a lot of my buyers, if they pull up to a house and they don't like the looks of it, they'll say, never mind, just keep on going.
Just keep going. Mm-hmm. And I used to be the same way. I would want to see something that was well landscaped, and if you've got a problem out there with chipmunks or moles or something, get it taken care of.
That's right.
Because it can make your property look kind of crazy, right?
Something is, and I like to try and encourage my sellers not to invest too much money, but simple things like painting the front door, or putting in a few flowers. Those are cheap things that brighten it up. That when people drive by, they see that, and it looks clean, well maintained. That's really, buyers really like that.
So why don't we take a 360 tour with you, and so we'll be able to see this whole thing.
Certainly, I'd love to.
So my cameraman is coming over to show it, so let's just take a little short break and we'll be right back. Now, Mary, we talked about curb appeal, so now everybody can see what we're talking about on the outside of this property that you filmed. So you want to talk a little bit about it?
Right. So you can see, looking at the front of the house, the landscaping is beautiful. Everything looks pretty immaculate. The thing that I like about this tour is I could take you through the outside of it, and let me hang on this week it sells. And I can literally bring you to a 360 for outside. And you can see the whole street that you're on. So first we can stand outside and we can spin.
Right.
And look at the neighborhood and see, hey, what's the neighborhood look like?
Looks pretty nice to me.
It does look nice. And you can see that. So then we can go in the house. But once the outside ones are basically just a 360. Inside you can actually walk through the house with a virtual walking through. Let me show you that part.
Yeah.
So we'll go in the house. This is the dollhouse view.
Wow.
And you can actually go in the front door. So there we go. All right, so here we are on the front door.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And you come in and see, this is a very nice example of how a house is staged. You can see everything's put away, it's not cluttered.
Right.
I can look at the house in the rooms, I can see the floor
Now, is that
plan.
the living room?
Yes, this is the main living room area. And then it opens over into the kitchen and dining room area.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. And notice everything off the counter. Look at how empty this is when you go in the kitchen. That's what you want it to look like. I know, I understand they're living there, but you almost have to look like you don't live there to
Right.
properly stage a home.
Right.
And notice how everything is just immaculate. And this is what I mean, that you can actually see imperfections. So you want to make sure you get rid of those cracks, any kind of chip paint. You want to make sure that's taken care of. Paint's cheap. It's an easy way to make a house look
Right.
refreshed.
And we've done things, we've actually done things ourselves in the properties that we've worked with, right, that have changed the price and the value of the house, right?
Absolutely. And again, you don't have to rip out everything. You just a fresh coat of paint. Cleaning, a thorough deep clean in a house makes a huge difference. People walk in and they see dust on the windowsills or dirty windows or dirt in the corners of it just turns them off. So a thorough cleaning, a nice fresh coat of paint in rooms, and then tone it down. I mean, if you have bright purple walls or green walls or you got to tone it down because people want to be able to see their stuff in there, their furniture, their belongings, and if they can't get past the colors of the walls or all your things, which I'm sure are beautiful things, but if they can't get past that, they can't see their own belongings in the home.
Well, so that you've seen the kitchen pretty much up close, right? And now we are where?
So we can go to the back rooms back here, and then we can go upstairs.
Okay, so are these bedrooms down here, or that's a
There's
washroom?
a laundry room. That's
Oh, wow, that's a nice laundry room.
Yeah, it is. And then over here is the master. This is a first floor master.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Look at how big that is. I love the colors in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can go with anything, actually.
And then you can go into the bathroom.
Right. It's a big bathroom, too, right? And a big closet.
It is a big closet. See how you can see everything with this tour.
Right.
You can look up, you can look down, you can go back around. I mean, if you miss something, you can go back and see it.
I like all the accents with all of the fans and stuff that they have in and then it's a big closet, so
It
you
is
have a
big.
lot of room in there, right?
But see, and again, make your closet organized and make it look, you don't have to take everything down and pack it away. I mean,
Right.
people can get past all that.
And I love the bathroom. I like the double sink. That's
Yep.
really nice.
So you can see through the windows, you can see outside.
That's pretty. They really
They did a nice job staging this house, they really did.
They decluttered it a lot.
Yes. So then it can take you up the stairs too,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's do that.
okay?
Okay. Let's go upstairs. I like the staircase, actually. It's beautiful. Now, what's up here?
This is like a bonus room. It could be an office, it could be a playroom for the kids, it could be, whatever you want it to be. It's just an extra bonus room here.
Wow. Now, how many bedrooms does this one have?
So this has another one downstairs.
Okay. I like the light in the house, the way they've done it.
So this
the
is
way
kind
they've
of like
designed
a
it.
landominium, actually.
Landominium,
Yeah.
actually? Really?
But again, what I like about this tour is you can see they've tastefully decorated it so it's nothing that's offensive to anybody, nothing that's going to bother them.
So how many square feet would this be?
I believe this is 2,500.
Yeah.
So hang on just a second. Let me go back around.
Okay. And this goes into the other bedroom, right?
Yeah, it's a guest room, and then it would be considered a third bedroom, but it's more of a study. But this is your guest room then, and then
That's like a little bonus area right there.
there's a bathroom and then a bedroom.
Oh,
So there's a
okay.
full bath, another full bath here for the guest,
Right.
and then this is the
Oh, that's sweet. I really like that.
bedroom, but study, whatever. I mean, it's just a little bit smaller, but it's so it's 3-bedroom. And it's just
The closets look nice
a
size.
lot of storage in this home.
Right.
But again, this is a really good. There's your other bonus room, which is
Oh, I like that. That was the one I was
could be a
talking
living
about.
room, it could be an office.
Right. That's really sharp. Does it have a basement?
Does not.
Does not have a basement because it's a landominium. Right. So.
So then I can take you outside too.
Let's do that.
The back.
To the back
my
deck or
God.
whatever. All right. That'll be coming up in a second.
If it cooperates.
Oh, I like that. I like that view. That's really sharp.
Yeah. So they call that a dollhouse view. So you can kind of you can move it around and see the different rooms in the way that it's laid out.
Right.
Why it's not letting me go to this? I don't know. There we go.
Oh, that's sharp.
Okay. So there's the back view.
Uh-huh.
And again, the landscaping's pristine. It's so well maintained that people just it makes you feel warm and welcome as soon as you get there.
Right.
So that's what a Matterport tour does. It's a very, very good way to show a house without anybody coming in the luxury of your home.
Right. So we're going to take a short break here, Mary, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
On Kathryn Raaker's World. We're back on Kathryn Raaker's World with my associate, Mary Droder, who works with Star One. I'm a referral realtor, so we work in a different capacity, right? And she gets to do all the wonderful stuff like listing it and everything else, and I do the referral part of it. And, I'm very interested in how you actually became the 360 camera person for Star One and how you work with other realtors and their clients. So what happens first? So one of your realtors calls you? Is that what happens?
Yeah, so I'm also a realtor, but in my office, Star One is the only company in Cincinnati that actually owns our own Matterport camera, which is the brand name of it. But it's an actual camera that you set up on a tripod, and it looks like an old VCR, and it spins around in a circle. But the training on that is a little bit complicated. It hooks up to an iPad, it Bluetooths off an iPad, and it reads the camera. And so you don't need a Wi-Fi connection with the internet of the people that I'm going to film the house. It reads each other. And so the training was complicated. I was one of the few agents that wanted to be trained in it, and so it takes for a 2,000 square foot house, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to film it. So it's a long procedure. So a lot of agents said, I don't think I really want to do that. I'll just hire Mary to do it. So they hire me to go do that on the side for them because it is time consuming, and they just don't want to take the time to do it. And I find it's kind of an art in a way. There's different angles because I can also, from the Matterport, we can also pull really high def pictures from it.
Oh,
so
wow.
you don't need a photographer. You just need me to come in. I could do both the video tour and the photography for it. So there's an angle expertise that you want to get when you're filming. So in trying to encompass several rooms in that picture when you're pulling that photograph. So not only can you get a Matterport tour where people can look at your house safely from their own home, but you can get high-def pictures, which are very beautiful pictures.
And I think that's really important, especially when you're trying to market your home. And prior to the pandemic, we had cash buyers everywhere buying lots and lots of houses. You're seeing the market come back, but this is a way to show your home in a way that a lot of other people can't show it. And especially if there's somebody that wants to find a house like that, which is gorgeous, by the way. And it's in an area that's really nice. Number one, a neighborhood. You can see the neighborhood, and that's what I like about it. You can see the outside of it and the perimeter and the street, so you know exactly what you're looking at, correct?
Yeah, and I think it showcases a house much better than photographs, because in a photograph you can see a still of a room, and you can see a still of the backyard, and you can see still of the laundry room or whatever, but you don't get the layout. And this I think eliminates, because a lot of times when you have buyers that can just look through pictures and then they walk in like, oh, I didn't picture it being like this. So it brings serious buyers to your home, which is much more important than just having a looky-loo come through and say, oh, the picture didn't look like that. I don't like this at all. So this Matterport tour, I think, is much more important than the photographs. And they usually say the picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, I think this Matterport tour sells the house much more effectively. And I photograph, I don't care if the home is 90,000 or 900,000. I do the Matterport tour for every one of my listings because it brings serious buyers and it helps me sell the house faster.
Right, and that's what's really important in selling a house. Now let's talk about how to get your house ready for you.
Well,
do you go and look at the house first before you do it?
Well, if it's my listing, I do. But if it's somebody else's listing, and then I give them instructions. So a lot of times, just like when you're getting ready for a showing, you want the curtains on, you want the lights on, you want it to look inviting, you want to have it smell fresh and clean. So I tell them to treat it like it's a showing. Get everything put away, get everything clean, mirrors, bathrooms clean, get it set up for a showing. Lights on, blinds up, make it nice, bright, and welcoming when you walk in.
Right, because I think that's really important, especially on the outside, because like you said, the landscaping, even if it's just a little of flowers or whatever in that front area, it really makes a difference when you're looking from a car or you're looking through anything else. And I know that when I first came here to this neighborhood, I mean, he had done a nice landscaping and I was really impressed, but I was impressed by the front door. I mean, it made a difference to me when I walked in.
It really
okay?
can, yeah.
And, you know, when I looked at a lot of houses, I looked at 55 houses when I first came back here. And it was a lot of houses. And you, especially if you're a realtor, or you've been in real estate, you know exactly what you're looking for, right, as a person, right?
You do. Now, a first-time home buyer finds it a little more difficult. I find that it's fun because I'm a retired teacher, so my training comes back as an educator to try to educate them to find out what they want in a home, because they're not sure sometimes. They don't know the difference between a Cape Cod or a ranch, and you know, or a California ranch. So we have to spend time learning what they like and what they don't like. And for a first-time home buyer, it's a little more complicated. It takes more time. So looking at 55 houses or 30 houses is more common. Now, if I have a buyer that's downsizing, or they need a different floor plan because they want a single floor instead of 2 floors, they usually know what they want. So I can show a few houses and they can find them quickly. But first-time home buyers, typically it's more of a learning process.
No, it's really, sometimes they drive you crazy. But you educate them to make them aware of what's going on.
I actually like it. I don't find it a bother. And they always, oh, I'm sorry to bother you with more houses. I don't mind it at all, because every house we go through is a learning moment. You know, looking at foundations. You know, looking for the smell when you walk down a basement where you know there's water intrusion. Looking for the electric panel, and talking about, you know, what you want to look for in an electric panel, or the furnace if it's updated, the roof. So it's a learning experience. Not that I'm an inspector by any stretch, but just warning signs. Hey, when you have your inspection, make sure they inspect this, or make sure they check this out, because first-time homebuyers have never owned and they don't know what they're looking for.
Right, and making sure that, you know, that it's inspected, because I know a lot of people in different states don't necessarily do that. They don't look for the deed, and all these things are really important, right?
I would not let my buyers buy a house without inspecting it. I mean, that just,
that's right.
You know, they think, well, I don't want to spend $500 on a home inspection. It's an insurance policy that you're not going to walk into something you were afraid of. You know, a big ticket item, like they didn't know that they need to replace the whole entire air conditioning unit, or they didn't know they needed a roof. So an inspector can eliminate a lot of big ticket items down the road.
Right, and that makes a really big difference, especially in the first home that you have.
Yes.
You don't want to be that person that, and even experienced buyers sometimes, they don't have like the furnace inspector, or they don't have to have an inspection, right? Or they don't want to pay for that inspection because they think they know it. But they find out after one day that the furnace doesn't work right after they moved in, and it's been closed and everything's done, and they go, oh no.
Well, which leads me into something else. I always try to encourage my buyers to either request a home warranty from the seller as part of the inspection period, or to purchase one on their own. Home warranties weren't around when I first bought a house, but now it's a pretty common thing, because just like your insurance insures your homes and belongings, it doesn't insure your mechanics and plumbing and things that could go wrong that aren't going to be covered by homeowners insurance. So let's say you buy a house and they have a refrigerator that's 8 years old, or a hot water heater that's 12 years old.
Right.
Within that first year, things can break, and so a home warranty can protect them from paying $1,200 for a new hot water heater or something.
Right, and you never know when things are going out.
You don't.
I'm in a custom-built home. I've replaced a lot of things over the years, and you never know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
You know?
You never
So
do.
having that home warranty is really important.
It's a little peace of mind for my first-time home buyers especially.
Right. So do you see a trend in what's happening today, Mary, as far as what are are millennials buying more? Are seniors what's happening in the market right now? Or is it's changing every day?
It's such a hot seller's market, and it has not slowed down. It's been a seller's market for the better part of at least 2 years. And sellers just have such an advantage, and buyers are at such a disadvantage. So the bad thing for the buyers there's low inventory, so there's a lot of buyers looking at one house. And what happens is the house goes on the market the first day, you get multiple offers coming in, and it makes it very hard as a realtor for my buyers, because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what the right number is when they're putting an offer in, and they a lot of times have to go over the asking price, which is very frustrating to them, because they were on a budget and they wanted to go up to this level. Well, now it's in multiple offers, and you're going to have to go over the asking price to get that house.
Do you see more cash buyers today? Are you starting to see mortgages again, in the sense of, there's been a lot of cash buyers out there for a long time, right?
Well, interest rates are so low. You can get it, if you have a good credit score, you can get a loan for 2.9%. I mean, it's just crazy how low the mortgage rates are. So no, I see mostly people getting loans right now because money is cheap.
Right.
So you can go so much farther with a cheap mortgage. You can get more of a house.
Right.
So cash buyers, those are typically my investors that are buying multifamilies or they're buying rental properties, single-family homes for rental in school districts.
Or to flip them or something like that.
Yeah, flippers. Yeah, there's some flippers out there, but there are some. Probably the other cash buyer market that I see are the seniors that have the money saved up and they want to get into a house and they downsize, so they just pay cash for it, so they can utilize their retirement for different things.
Right. And that's what you're seeing a lot as well.
I am. I'm either seeing a lot of first-time home buyers, getting those good mortgage rates, or you're seeing those seniors that are downsizing or changing floor plans to something more suitable to them, or going to a condo.
And do you see more builders building different types of housing today than they have before? Are you seeing more condominiums? Are you seeing all different types of housing being built?
So the custom builders seem to be the more popular ones because the buyers can come in and at least have some choice of what they want in a home, and especially if they can't find what they want out there in an existing home.
Mm-hmm. And you'll see more of that. Do you see more people going into areas where there are lakes and stuff like that, more country living right now?
Yeah, acreage is hard to find because a lot of the builders aren't able to purchase the land as cheap as they used to a long time ago when they were developing subdivisions. Mm-hmm. So people that want a half-acre lot or an acre lot, it's harder to find. So those houses, when I have a house that has an acreage of, an acre or more, they are even in more demand because people don't want to live so close.
They want to close together.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Right. And that was probably the advantage here where when we bought this, that there was a half an acre.
Sure.
And it made it more desirable, I think, for us. And, it's really been a great house. And, I love it. So,
when you're ready to sell.
I know when I'm ready to sell it, I'm going to sell it. Don't worry. I get more people call me about buying my house. It's crazy. Anyhow, but, I think I know exactly what I want in a next home, and that is I want a bedroom on the first floor. I want a big kitchen. I want a big living space. I don't necessarily have to have rooms that are all closed in. Right?
That open floor plan is so popular.
An open floor plan is really popular.
The traditional, fancy dining room and the living room that nobody sits in except when company comes, which is very rarely, is become by the wayside. I mean, when builders build a home now, it's an open floor plan, with a big great room where in the big kitchen where people can gather because people like to gather all together in one big space.
Right.
So the floor plans have definitely changed, and people our age want that that bedroom. They want to try and avoid the steps.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. I had a really cute house years ago in Hidden Valley Lake, right? And it had a first floor bedroom, which was really, really nice. And then when we moved to New Jersey, right, we had a really very, very interesting house, the first one. But then we built a house there. And that was really a lot of fun, except that we had to live in an apartment for like 6 months or so. But you sacrifice sometimes when you want something really special. Do you see appliances playing a big part in selling your house?
Well, the stainless steel are the big ones. I mean, people want that. And so, if you're selling your home, typically your appliances stay. You don't take the appliances with you typically. Washer and dryer are negotiable. But if you have stainless steel, like if you're going to do anything for your kitchen, if it's not updated, and that you have old appliances, maybe update just the appliances, or like the refrigerator and the stove at least, because that stainless steel is in such demand right now.
Right, and that's kind of when we do our cooking show, we do it in our wonderful kitchen because it has all this beautiful stainless steel, and we converted to gas, which I absolutely love. I mean, I was watching one of the programs that was on television. This a kind of a real estate program in a sense, and this gal said, "I want to change my house, and I want to make sure I get glass top stove." And I'm going like, "Oh, I had a glass top stove, and I had 2 of them actually." And I'm so glad I converted to gas because it makes a really big difference. And the cost of electricity and whatever, it makes a big difference.
And the cleanup.
And they're cleaner, right. So what would you say are your goals for this year for your buyers and sellers and yourself?
So the biggest goal would be to try to get people that are thinking about selling, that they're on the fence, to encourage them to do it now, because we have no idea what the market's going to do. What the long-term effects of this pandemic are going to be, interest rates, where they're going to go. But so if you're going to sell now. That the biggest goal I could be is, I've got some people are like, I might sell down the road. I'm telling you, now is the time to sell. You can get so much more money for your house right now than you might be able to. And again, I don't have that crystal ball, but down the road, I just don't.
You don't know what's going to happen with the interest rates.
You know, just like a stock market, it's a roller coaster. You just don't know when that's going to start coming back down. And the buyers, I'm sure, are anxious for it to become a buyer's market, absolutely, because then they won't be going into multiple offers and paying more than they want to pay. But right now, my biggest goal is anybody that wants to sell right now, I'm like, sooner the better, the sooner the better.
That's right. And you want to give your information, because I think that's important.
Yeah, I'm Mary Droder. I'm with Star One Realtors. My email is mdroder@star1.com, and my phone number is 513-607-4666.
And you know, you can't do any better than working with Mary and Kathryn. We love doing it together.
We do.
It's a lot of fun. And you know, I think that you bring a lot of education into for your sellers and your buyers, and you're very patient with people, and that makes a big difference. And that's what you want in a realtor.
I really try to, yeah. I try really hard to do that.
You know,
I really love it.
And you know, you don't want somebody that's only going to talk to you for 5 minutes and say, oh, whatever. You want somebody that sits down and cares for you and takes care of selling and, you know, finding good financing for you and having the right group of people within Star One to be able to sell it, right?
Yeah, I surround myself with really good people. When I meet a lender that I like, I stay loyal to that lender. When I meet an inspector I know is honest and does the thorough job. So I have a network of people that I recommend, and I think that's really important. And as a realtor, it's not just a short-term relationship with me. I become friends with most of my clients, and we stay in touch for a long, long time. You know, if we have lunches or something, maybe become friends through it. So it's not just a client realtor relationship. It becomes a friendship.
It does, because you really are depending upon that person to really help you with the most expensive thing that you'll do in your life.
Yes.
And I think that's really important. I know some of the people that we work with and you've recommended to me, they've redone my outside. They've done great jobs. They're wonderful people to work with, and I can refer them as well.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for joining me today on Kathryn Raaker's
Thank
World.
you. Thanks
And we
for
want
having
you
me.
to come back in another couple of weeks and we'll do another one.
I would love to.
Because we really need to educate people in this marketplace right now. And thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And don't forget to go to our website at KathrynRaakersWorld.com or Let'sJustTalkRadio.com, where you'll see everything.